You're just making your life like the
Super wide.
WWTTW kids.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna ask you those same questions again.
Yes, I did.
And
I know well, the picture quality was not the best, but I remember exactly what it was. It was a Zenith, round, maybe 14-inch, 12-inch, whatever, in like a cabinet.
It's just like one of those like old TVs that had like a big box in the back, you know what I mean? It's not a flat screen.
I think the first TV my father bought, I was about 6. Let's not count how many years ago that was, right?
Cyber Chase, Super Wide, Arthur, all those were really Channel 11.
Sid Caesar show. Well, of course, there was like Ed Sullivan show, but those were all when I was a little older, maybe like 12. You know, I know my father would watch the fights. They always had some sort of fights on TV. My father was a sports fanatic. So whatever sports were on, you know, the only thing he didn't watch was the Cubs because he was a diehard Sox fan, you know. When the programs would end and the TVs would be over, the night would be over for TVs, they'd have this round, I don't know exactly what it was. When I was a kid, I'd be like looking at that thing and I'd be like, oh, what is that? And it was like, it kind of reminded me of a Blackhawks thing, but it was just all round and black, and whatever channel you were watching, because, you know, there weren't a whole lot of channels. I think there were 2, 5, 7, and 9. It was really the only channels we had. It's so hard. I can't really remember what the kid programs were when I was little. Bozo was like, I was a little already older for that. But there was, what was the name of that program? With Mary Hartline, Super Circus or whatever, something like that. Every day after school, we watched American Bandstand every single day. It would be on, you know. And we loved it, you know. All the kids would come home from school and watch everybody dancing and, you know, try and, you know, do exactly what they were doing.
I think it's average. You know, it does harm and it does good. Depends. The presidential election of 2008, Barack Obama's.
did you watch the inauguration?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I think it was a good choice.
The assassination of President Kennedy.
Did you watch the funeral?
I watched everything. I was glued to the TV because I loved President Kennedy. In fact, when he came to Chicago during his, you know, he was running for president, he came to Chicago at the Chicago Stadium, which is now the United Center. Okay. And the fellow that I was going with at the time, so I had to be like 18, okay? And I said, I really want to go see him. I really want to go see him. And he was like, okay, we'll go, you know. So we went to see him. You know, it was during his, what did they do before they become president?
The campaign.
Yes, during his campaign. And I was just, I'm still fascinated by them. Anything that's on about the Kennedys I watch because I just find them fascinating people, you know. So that was really one of the big, when he died. And it was funny because when he died, I was already working. And I'll never forget, I was a switchboard, well, not really switchboard operator, but I was a receptionist for an insurance company. So they had a switchboard there, so I would take all the calls that came in and whatever. And I worked right on LaSalle Street across the street from St. Peter's. And I answered the call, and they asked for one of the vice presidents that was there. And I said, I'm sorry, he's out to lunch right now. Would you like to leave him a message? And he said, well, he probably got this message already, but tell him his boy just got shot. So I was like, thinking to myself, oh my God. I said, could this be his son? You know. So, you know, I took my headset off right away and I walked over to where the presidents were and whatever. And I said, you know, I just got a call. I said, from Mr. Peck. I said something about his boy was shot. And they were like, oh, look out the window. And I happened to look out because we faced right across the street. If I looked out the window, I could see LaSalle Street.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were just pouring out of the buildings, running across the street to the church. And people were all over. And I said, what is going on? And they said, and then they told me, you know, President Kennedy was shot today. I almost died myself. I was like, what? You know, because I loved him, you know. So naturally, you know, I don't even think, I don't even remember if we were, what do you call it? If we worked or there was no, I can't remember, you know. But that was the biggest thing on TV that I watched growing up. Nothing else was really, nothing got to me like that, you know. Even though like the first time they went, you know, man to the moon and all that, you know, it was very nice. But, well, that's nice, you know, but that was tragic, you know. I think it's disgusting. The things that they say on TV, that they show on TV, and I'm far from a prude, okay? But between the drug, the sex, between murder, killing, I don't want to watch the news. That's enough to make you want to commit suicide yourself. It was better when I was younger. How it has evolved to this, I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, they would never, ever show a loose little ball. And they were married. Show them in the same bed. Ever. Today, it's not only that they're showing them in the same bed, they're showing you what they're doing in bed. To the movies, I haven't been to the show in years. And I don't go to the show for the mere fact that I don't want to sit next to a stranger, okay? And see what the hell is going on the screen and thinking to myself, I gotta sit next to this person that I don't even know and watch this. I can't. I don't go. The older I get, the worse it is, believe me. But anyway, what else, honey?
And that was everything.